तो आपकी क्लास लाइव है।
जी ठीक है, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Please tell your classmates to join in. Yeah, please tell your classmates to join in. Inform them on the groups, on the teams, or probably or the other group that you have on WhatsApp, I guess. Yes, good afternoon, Muskan. Yeah. So today is our last class for AECC. So it will be good if everyone is present. Kindly put a message on your Teams group or your WhatsApp group so that your classmates can also attend the lecture. Yeah. All right. So we are going to complete the last unit, which is writing skills. And I want you to make a note on the format of note making, letter writing, and report writing, because that is really important in terms of your exam. Also, we have looked at paraphrasing and summarizing, where we looked at how paraphrasing is different than summarizing, where summarizing is 1/3 of the original length of the material. Paraphrasing, on the other hand, usually is of the similar length of the original material, and summarizing is including the most important points of the text that is given to you, whereas paraphrasing is mostly using all of the text that using material from the original text, but in a different but using different words, right? Yes, good evening, good afternoon, Rahul, good afternoon, Pratima. Please put in a message on your respective groups, class groups, so that everyone can attend this lecture, as this is the last class. Okay, so let me just share the slide again. Yeah, so in the last class, I discussed letter writing, formal letter writing. By the end of this lecture, I'll share the slides with you again, where so you can take a proper screenshot of the format. Okay, so let's start with report writing. So what is report writing? Although reports can be of various types, yet when it comes to writing, there are two broad categories under which reports are written. The first is a short report, and the second is the long report. All project reports, field visits to industries, or visits concerning businesses are usually written as long reports. So we'll begin with the format of a shorter report, and then we'll move on from there. So writing a shorter report usually follows the letter or the memorandum format. Okay, and when a longer report is written, we usually combine it, and we also use figures, bars, bar graphs, etc. So what are the preliminary facts that we need to remember while writing reports? While writing a report, one must read the instructions carefully on the basis of which the report is to be prepared. So of course, why are we writing a report? Why is there a need to write a report? What is the main idea behind it? We need to understand that first. And it is like reading a question paper thoroughly before writing an answer in an examination. Instructions set the design and content of the whole structure of the report. So of course, we first need to really be very sure about what we are writing the report on, about the data that needs to be collected or how it needs to be presented, right? So sometimes it can include statistics, it can include figures, so we need all of that prepared beforehand. If it is more of a theoretical, if it is more of a written report which does not include a lot of images, figures, etc., then we will be preparing for it differently, right? So understand what are the instructions that have been given to us by maybe our manager, by our teacher, or whoever is asking for a report, right? Then the next step is to collect appropriate material required, including facts and data, to prepare a report. Even if you are writing a shorter report or a short report, we must plan the report accordingly, and we must try to gather as much information or supporting documents or arguments or statistics that are required for the preparation of that report. Then we will be preparing an outline for the report, and once the outline is ready, we will be including all of the relevant details in the report, right? Just the way we are looking at just the way we looked at other writing exercises, where there was a planning stage or a preparation stage, and then there was a writing stage, right? So similarly, we will be planning it beforehand, why the report is to be written, what are the details that are to be included, what kind of data is required, etc., and what format we will be following. Then after the writing is done, still much needs to be done after that, of course. When we have started writing, reviewing and editing is as crucial as writing, right? So of course, remember when we started with the writing, the unit on writing, we talked about a pre-writing stage, a writing stage, and then a rewriting stage, right? So similarly, once we have written the report, we need to go back and revise it. We need to go back and read through it to find if we have made any errors or any kind of data or information that we have written is wrong. So we need to check that. So we need to keep of course, the purpose of the mind. Why are we writing the report? Is the report that is written in tandem with the question that was asked? Are we answering the question or are we writing the report clearly or not, or is there any more details that should be included or not, right? So keeping the purpose and reader of the report in mind, so we will be reviewing the content. Then the next is of course to look for grammatical mistakes, spelling errors, and expression accuracy, and the organization of the content, how well the report is organized, right? How well the data that we have collected is being presented, right? And of course, after the formatting, the report is ready. Then how do we write a report? We'll go step by step. I hope the students have joined in. Yeah. Good afternoon, Pratima. Hello, Kimti. Hello, Nikhil. Yeah. So the first is, of course, the planning stage of the report. I think, oh, sorry. Yeah, I hope you can see it. So I hope this is clearer now. Excuse me. Yeah, so let's go to the step-by-step writing of report. The first is the planning stage. Planning is a crucial stage of writing, even if writing involves a short message, as one must know about what to write, whom to write to, and how to write. In a formal piece of writing like that of a report, specifically a long report, planning becomes all the more significant. One should not have to keep going to the purpose of the report after writing some pages of the same. Similarly, while writing an essay, it would be very tedious if one had to keep referring to the thesis statement. So of course, we should be very clear about why the report is being written, what is being asked of us, as what is being asked in the exam as well, like what the question is, what kind of question is it, what is the question asking, are we following it or not? Yeah, sorry. Then be clear about the purpose of report writing. Once what, for whom, and how of a report are understood by the writer, she is able to prepare the work plan. So we need to carefully read the question that has been asked, what is the report to be prepared on, and then we should proceed from there. Then once one knows the target audience, one can gather information according to the needs of the audience. Relevant information in the form of facts, data, or case studies can be gathered and studied beforehand. So like I said, if it includes any kind of statistics, we will be doing that on our own. We will be preparing data, we'll be gathering all the facts, we will be rechecking those facts, we'll gather the accurate data and try to include it in the outline so that we can prepare a report. Then once the basic material has been collected, one must think about the media of presentation, since a combination of various media can make the presentation more effective. What includes the media, of course, are images, are videos, or any kind of presentation that has different kinds of figures or bar graphs or pie charts, etc. So this can make the report more interactive if you are properly giving a presentation in your organization. So if you're writing a report or if you're presenting a report, then a lot of these options can be explored. Then next stage is the organization of information. One must prepare an outline in the form of an appropriate structure so that at the actual writing stage, one knows how to restructure the material collected. Of course, this comes in the pre-writing stage of any writing exercise, that you need to prepare an outline of what you're going to write or what you're going to prepare, right? So keep the outline at hand. I think this goes even for your examination as well. So whenever you get the question paper, try to look at all of these long answer questions. Try to make a rough outline on your paper or in your mind, whatever suits you, before you start attempting to write the question. So always try to prepare an outline of the exercise before attempting the question. Then we'll move on to stage 2, which is writing. Following the format of a short report or a long report, write the report with a specific purpose and the specific audience in one's mind. So who is the report being written for? What is the report about? Try to write the report and present the facts in a manner that the reader of the report is going to understand what you are writing and who you're writing it for. Then choose a simple words over jargon and complex words. Like any other writing exercise, try to choose words that can express what you want to in the best way possible. Avoid using any kind of complex words or jargon or any kind of difficult words that may confuse the reader of the report. Then proper headings and subheadings with short, simple paragraphs make a report more effective. When we started this particular unit, we talked about how the writing should be short and simple, focus on brevity. For that, use proper headings and subheadings to make short, simple paragraphs. Do not write long paragraphs. Do not write long sentences that make no sense. Write effectively, and that is the most important thing. Then check it for proper citations for the resources used. If you have used any resources, or if you have referenced any other articles or data or collected data from different sources, try to acknowledge them. Not try to acknowledge them, rather acknowledge them in the right format. So use proper citations for that. That is very important, because or else your report will be considered as plagiarized. Then objectivity is the key to report writing. Logically driven facts and figures can lead to logical conclusions. So the data and information that you have collected for your report should be logical. It should make sense. It should reflect the idea that you are trying to present in the report, and it should connect to the question or the topic on which you are writing a report on. So your data and your information should logically reflect the idea behind the report. Then do not include anything irrelevant. It will make the report incoherent. Be specific. Of course, the information and the data that you've included or whatever that you're writing should be relevant to the point that you're trying to make, or should be relevant to the report on which, it should be relevant to the topic on which the report is being written, right? You should not include any kind of irrelevant details or irrelevant data or information that has not been asked of you, or that is not relevant to the question or the report on which the report is being written. Then the selection of words, tone, and voice must be audience and purpose specific. Whoever is asking you to write a report, you need to choose your words wisely, right? If you're writing a report, if you're writing like an annual report or a company, like a quarterly report that you usually do in organizations, your selection of your tone, your voice of the voice and words should be very, very important. It should be formal. It should not be informal. You should avoid using any kind of Instagram lingo or any kind of words that we may use in real life, but we won't use them as words in more formal settings. Then incomplete reports will not serve their purpose. Make them authentic and complete. So incomplete reports will not serve their purpose. Make them authentic and complete. Try to include all of the relevant data and information that is required of you. Do not submit any incomplete reports. Do not submit any kind of incomplete documents that would confuse the reader. Then we move on to the final stage, which is completing. Yes, Nikhil, I'll send you the format once we complete report writing. I'll share all the formats with you so that you can screenshot it. I'll share it with you. Don't worry. All right. So the final stage is completing the report. By now, the first draft is ready, but it will not be presentable, of course, because you need to review it, you need to revise it, and only after editing and revision can one get to the final presentation of the report. Right. So time to go back and revise the content, whatever that you have written, you need to revise it. You need to see if it includes all of the details that are relevant, if it does not include anything irrelevant. So you need to be very sure of what you have included, right? So try to revise it as much as possible, as much time, and be careful of course, the deadline. If you have been given a deadline, stick to it and plan your revisions accordingly, right? Then we move on to, are the graphics and the media used appropriately? Are they adding to the effectiveness of the report? Re-look at the whole for writing as well as other media. Yeah, just a second. Yeah, so we will go back and we'll have a look at the media and the graphics and the statistics and the data that we have used. Is it appropriate or not? Is it adding to the effectiveness of a report or not? If it isn't, then you can, of course, delete it. You can edit it out. So relook for the whole writing as well as the other media, that whatever that you have written, is it making sense or not? Is the graphics being supported by the writing, and the writing being is it being supported by the media that is used or not? Then of course language and grammar accuracy cannot be underestimated. Go through the whole presentation again to check for errors of spelling, structure, or mechanics. One wrong spelling at the beginning is enough to play a game, spoiler, proofread, and change and correct, right? So of course you need to proofread your report. You need to check for grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, or anything of that sorts. You need to make your necessary edits, etc. And then for the delivery of the report, choose the appropriate medium. Sometimes the report is to be presented, sometimes the report is to be written, right? So how are you going to do that, right? And that is important. So we looked at report writing, and now we will be looking at the two formats. So in your syllabus, you have letter writing format, the letter format of report writing, and the memorandum format of report writing. So these are the two formats. Please do not get confused, right? The question will specify, sometimes it will specify that you need to write a report using the memorandum format, or you need to write a report using the letter format. Is this clear? Do you understand this? You will be asked the question, and the question will mention what kind of format you need to follow. So please remember that there are two types of formats you can be questioned on: the memorandum format and the letter format. All right, so the first is the memorandum format. So let's have a look at that. The memorandum format includes, yeah, so here is the address, then you have the reference number, then you have the date, and then you have to and from. Okay, and that is the difference between the letter format and the memo format, where the memorandum format contains to, the sender and the receiver's name. The letter format only includes the receiver's name. All right, so make a note of that. The memorandum format includes the address, the reference number, the date, the sender's name, and the receiver's name. Then the subject comes, right? And as per your instructions in the meeting of 7th January, blah, 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 here is the report, and the report is submitted for information and further action, your signature and your name. Okay, and this is the memorandum format, which includes the name of the sender and the receiver, whereas the letter format will include the address, the reference number, the date, and the receiver's name. Very, very important, the receiver's name, and then the subject. Okay, and the report is submitted for information and further action. I would be happy to provide more details if required. And just like a letter, a formal letter, yours sincerely and signature on your name. Okay, so the difference is the sender and the receiver over here, and the signature, and over here, dear Miss Gayatri Singh, like we will only be writing the receiver's name, and we will only be writing yours sincerely over here, not in the memo format. Now, if you have any confusions regarding the format, right, I'm sure there are a lot of different formats that are available online, and you will be referring to a lot of different resources to study for your exam. But always remember to follow the format that is given in your textbook. Any textbook or any SOL or the SOL material that follows the curriculum of Delhi University, that is to be kept in mind, that if the format that is there in your SOL material or the AECC textbook that has been shared with you, that only the format given in these two particular materials, the textbook or the SOL material, is to be followed. Kindly do not refer to other material. Kindly do not copy or paste the format that you probably saw on some of the Google hits that you may have come across. So do not do that. Only follow the format that is part of your SOL material or the Delhi University prescribed textbooks. Okay, so I know there are like the formats of letter writing and formal letter writing, they go through various revisions across times, so that can be confusing. But like I said, just go to the SOL website, download the material, and you will get the idea which format you need to follow. And I have also shared the material with you, and I'm still getting requests regarding the material. I do not understand why, when I have clearly told you that the material has been shared with you. Your classmates have forwarded the material on WhatsApp and the Microsoft Teams group. The textbook has been shared. the SOL material has also been shared with you. So please refer to that. Do not get confused. The material has been shared already on the group. As this is my last lecture, I really want you to understand the material has been shared. Kindly refer to it. The textbook as well as the SOL material has been shared. Nikhil, formal letter. There is a group. There's a BCom group on Microsoft Teams. So I have no information regarding the examination. The SOL will contact you directly regarding any dates or anything regarding the like is it offline or online. The examination information will be given by SOL. I have no information on that. There is no word limit. There is no word limit, Khushi. But just try to be very sure that whatever the question is being asking you, you answer it properly. And it's a paper that tests you on grammar, right? And format and communication theory. So just keep that in mind. It is not a paper. It's not like a literature paper that you have to write like 7 or 8 pages. So just use sense, and you should know yourself by now. Now that you're in college, how long an answer needs to be written. I have no information about the WhatsApp group. Your classmates will add you. I'm not added on any group. Nikhil, it has been shared. Keemti, Bhavna, I guess, and I think Khushi. I don't remember what the third name was. They all shared the material. No, it is not to be presented in a box. That is just my way of, that's just the Microsoft presentation's own layout. It's not to be presented in a box. Okay, so can you take a screenshot of this? Guys, take a screenshot of the memorandum format. I hope you have noticed the key differences between the memorandum format and the letter format of report writing. The memorandum format includes the name of the receiver and the sender, and there's a signature and the name, whereas the letter format includes particularly only the name of the receiver, right? And it includes yours sincerely, the signature and the name. Okay, so you can take a screenshot of this. You can take a screenshot of this now. Then you can take a screenshot of this. Then you can take a screenshot of this. This is the formal letter, the address, the reference number, the date, the address, right? This is the sender's address. This is the receiver's address, the subject. Then, of course, you have sir, madam, salutation, body, mostly body includes the paragraphs. The first one carries the important details. Then the second and the third ones are pretty short. They may include 1 or 2 sentences at the most. Sincerely and the name, right? So and I've also talked to you about the reference. If you want to include the reference, enclosures, courtesy copies, and PS, you can do that after the name. Okay, after the name that you sign over here. So I hope you have taken the screenshots, and I will show you the note making as well. So take a screenshot of this too. Take a screenshot of this. Please take a screenshot of this slide. Heading will be at the center. Then all of this will be here at the margins, the left margin, subheading, then the other headings that follow the subheadings. Okay, then within subheadings, you can have point 1 and point 2, and then so on. Then subheading 2, point 1, subheading, and then point 2. Right? Then you will include a key, which is very important. You need to include the key. You need to use these abbreviations or anything that you find is relevant to the particular question that has been asked to you, and you can make a key over here. Okay, so this is the format of note making. All right. And you can take a screenshot of this particular page as well, this slide. It will give you an idea of how to paraphrase, right? So while you're paraphrasing, look for the main idea, look for the supporting points of the main idea, then cut out the examples that have been included in the paragraph, right? And what are the two strategies that you need to keep in mind? Reorder the ideas that are present in the paragraph and change the keywords, right? Use synonyms, use easy words for complex sentences or words, right? So identify the main idea, identify the key supporting points, cut out most examples, and apply the paraphrasing strategies, which include reordering ideas and changing the keywords. So I hope you have taken a screenshot of this as well. Okay. Yes, Muskan is saying that she has already shared the material with you people on WhatsApp and the Teams app. Like I've said, your classmates have already shared the material with you. Muskan has shared the material and Keemti has also shared the material. So please refer to that. Thank you, Keemti. Please, guys, go back to your school, textbooks, read and reread the formal letter writing, report letter writing, and keep that in mind, right, for your exams, and I'm sure it will help you. There is no limit for abbreviations. No, it's just that, just write 3, 4, right? I think that's more than enough. Muskan has shared the WhatsApp. Okay, can someone share the WhatsApp link so that I can publish it over here? Can someone share the WhatsApp link? Yeah, I'll just ask one of you just share the WhatsApp link so that I can maybe publish it over here if it is being copying or send it to me as an individual message on Microsoft Teams, because I don't think so I can copy and paste directly over here. Varun, the only usage of the keys is like when we were talking about making notes. Why do we make notes? We make notes because we later or for future use, we may not have time to read the material again or read the article again that we are currently reading or perhaps reading for an exam, right? So what we do is we shorten the words, right? So for example, we have certain words like, for example, with. The word with can be written like, E with a dash on it, right? Sometimes we use and, right, like this, like an S, right, like an ulta wala S sometimes, right? So these are the things that we use while writing, while making notes or while writing really fast, right? So and then of course abbreviations are used as well, right? So for company we'll end up writing COMP, for organization we may end up writing ORG. So that is the only usage, that's the only use. I hope that answers your question. Yeah. Kimti, no. If there is, then you have to, refer to the syllabus that is there on the SOL site. Just in case if you think that so and so topic has been left out or so and so topic was not covered, technically all of them are covered because we have 5 units, right? And we have the SOL material is already been uploaded on the website. The syllabus is also there. Kindly refer to it. Okay. So if someone shares the link, then only I can share the link with you. So if anyone can be kind enough to share the WhatsApp group link that I can share with the other classmates as well. I have shared all of the material with you, so I hope you won't have any doubts. The material in the textbook has been shared with you. Yeah. So have you, are you clear on the memorandum format and the letter writing format of report writing? Can someone just tell me the differences? What's the difference between the letter writing format for report writing and the format for the memoranda type of report writing? Yeah. The textbook that I have shared with you has examples. Sorry, not examples. Sorry. It has previous year question papers attached to it at the end, right? So please have a look at that. Yes, very good. The to and from the receiver and the sender's address. Yeah, just let me just show you that I have shared a textbook with you. You can have a look at that. And at the end of the textbook, you have a couple of question papers attached. So let me just show that to you. So that will give you a better idea. Yeah, just a second. Yeah, just give me a second. I'll share the book with you. Yeah, here it is. So if you scroll down the textbook, you will have these papers that are attached to the textbook. So you can have a look at them and you can prepare yourself accordingly about what kind of questions can come in the exam, right? So here you've been given a paragraph and there are questions over here. To write a descriptive paragraph, I hope you understand what a descriptive paragraph is. It's usually used to describe something, right? Something that you need to talk about. How does it look like? What does it sound like, right? Any kind of description, whether it is physical, whether it is how emotional he was he an angry person? Was it a happy person? So a descriptive paragraph. Please read the question carefully, twice, thrice, as many times as you need to understand the question. Keep in mind the word limit that has been given to you, right? If it is 50 to 60 words, please follow that. If it is 100 or 150 words, please follow that. All right. Yes, Muskan. Okay. Yeah, Bhavya has also shared the material. Everyone, like I've said, all of your classmates have shared the material on the Teams group and on the WhatsApp group. So can someone just individually DM me on the Microsoft Teams the link of your WhatsApp group so that I can share it over here? Can you just quickly share the link of the WhatsApp group with me on the Teams app so that I can share it here in the chat box for the people who are not a part of it? All right. So just be very careful of the descriptive paragraph that is been asked over here. And like they've mentioned, the question says that you have to use 5 words, which includes these particular 5 words. Not these particular 5 words. You can choose them, whichever word you think is good enough or that suits you while writing. Sorry. Okay, then we looked at non-verbal communication in the paragraph. We know what non-verbal communication is, right? It includes your expressions, it includes any kind of communication that does not include words, right? Then effective examples of the pitch of the voice. How are you speaking loudly? Are you speaking softly, right? So you have examples over here. Please read it carefully, right? What's the hurry? He shrugged as he spoke, his tone careless and carefree, right? So he shrugged, right? So that's a non-verbal communication, right? His voice rose in amusement as he told Bina about the conversation, right? So he's changing the pitch, right? With concern as they got up to continue work. So Meena looked up, excited at this new piece of information. Her eyes shone as she thought about all the questions, right? Another form of non-verbal communication. Her eyes shone, right? So you have these other examples over here, which you can go through. Then, of course, we have discussed grapevine. Grapevine in terms of organization, any kind of the non-formal part of conversation that happens in a formal setting, right? Grapevine. Then listening is as important as speaking. List examples from the above passage to show that children are alert listeners, right? So you have that. Then 7 C's, we have discussed the 7 C's and kindly refer to the earlier, the topics that were discussed at the beginning. Then interview, remember, we talked about you have to first introduce the introduce the person that you are interviewing, who he is, why is he there, what are you going to talk to him about, why is his opinion important, right? For example, if he is a local politician, a local celebrity, why do you think his opinion is important? Because he has that kind of influence of the people around them. People will look up to him. Sorry, right? So whatever that he has to say, it will be thought upon, right, by the other people. So then you can, of course, by the end of the interview, you'll be thanking him for giving you a different viewpoint or for suggesting the necessary changes or for giving you time to talk to him, right? So these are the things that you need to include in your interview. Then a dialogue writing is very simple. Just imagine yourself talking to a friend, right? Imagine yourself, it should be free flowing, it should not use any kind of formal words, unless of course the dialogue is between someone who is elder to you, or is someone, perhaps a manager in a different position than you. But if the dialogue is between two peers, two people at the same level, like friends or siblings, etc., then it should be free flowing. Dialogues are necessarily free flowing. They shouldn't reflect any kind of a kind of formality to it, right? So keep that in mind. Hmm. Yeah, so again, paraphrase the above passage in not more than 75 words, right? Pick out the important points, pick out the supporting points, try to eliminate any kind of examples, rewrite the words, rewrite the sentences, right? Try to form your own sentences with the ideas that have been asked in 75 words. Then letter writing, I'm sure you are well aware of that. Write a letter, write a report, right, on the findings of your survey, the process for development that the president wants, and your own recommendation on whether the land should be bought or not, right? So you can follow the letter writing. Again, you've been given written and non-verbal. Yeah, be very careful. Written is always, it includes words, right? Non-verbal does not include words. It includes the expressions, the pitch, the tone, etc., right? Short dialogue, interview, right? A public speech. Public speech is usually talking to a larger audience, right? Asking questions, asking rhetorical questions. We discussed this. Rhetorical questions, the questions that need not necessarily be answered, right? For example, politicians do that when they go for political rallies. They say, ki, what do they ask? कि क्या आपकी मांगे पूरी हुई पिछले 5 सालों में, right? So you need not necessarily answer that question, right? But that is a rhetorical question. क्या आपको इसकी जरूरत है? Of course we need that. पानी इसकी जरूरत है, क्या आपको education की जरूरत? So they ask these bunch of questions right at the beginning to take in the interest of, to attract the interest of the audience, right? So you can include that. You can start your speech by an anecdote, right? You can refer to, or you can use your own life as a reference point, right? You can use an anecdote from your own life, which connects to the title of the speech, or which connects to the question that has been asked, right? So you can do that. And nobody is sharing the link with me. I don't understand why. Can someone please share the WhatsApp link so that I can share it with your classmates? I don't know what to do. Nobody's sharing the link with me. Can someone please share the WhatsApp group link? Can someone share the WhatsApp group link with me? Guys, the time is running out, so please share the WhatsApp link with me. Can someone share the WhatsApp link? No, I can't share the Teams link. Can someone share the WhatsApp Teams link? WhatsApp group link. Is anyone here who is on the WhatsApp group? Okay. So guys, whoever is not on the WhatsApp group, they can join the Teams group. Everyone is there on the Teams group. So because nobody, I think Muskan is saying that the admins can share the link only. So if the admins are not attending the class, the link can't be shared. So what you guys can do is you can join the Microsoft Teams group that the SOL has included all of you in, right? They've made you all part of that particular group. So what you can do is, whoever is here and whoever is part of the WhatsApp group, and whenever your settings change to public, just tell the admin to share the link, and you can copy and paste it on the Microsoft Teams group. So I'm sure just join the Teams group. That is the easiest, I guess. Join the Teams group, and anyone who is part of the WhatsApp group can later share the WhatsApp link with you over there. So any other questions? Any other questions with the syllabus or with the topics that we have covered? Because this is our last class. There are 5 topics: Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, Unit 5. Yeah. So I think Muskan has shared this particular link with me. I don't know if I can share it. Is it a Google Meet link, Muskan? No. Muskan, I can't share this. Can you just send it to me on Microsoft Teams? Here, so someone has shared this with me. And I have received this as well. Okay, so I hope you can connect with each other, and I have shared the material with you. I've shared the textbook, I've shared the SOL material, so you can have a look at that. I don't know what the names are. Yeah, Muskan, thank you. I've shared it. Yeah, okay. So I've shared the Telegram group with you, and I've also shared the WhatsApp link with you. And on all of these groups, the material that I have shared, that I told you about, has already been shared. I did it in the last class, right? So I have shared the textbook and Delhi University prescribed one, and I have also shared the SOL material with you. So I think that should cover it. And you can go on to the SOL website to look at the previous year question papers. Okay, so yeah. Any other questions related to what we have studied? Please focus on the formats. Try to remember the formats because that is where you'll be marked on, right? The report writing format, which includes the memo format and the letter format, the formal letter format, the how to write a paraphrase, how to summarize. These are the things that you should really remember. Okay, then what is grapevine, and maybe give examples of grapevine. Another very important thing for you as AECC students is that whenever you're trying to explain something, whenever you're just a second, hold on. Yeah, sorry. So whenever you're trying to explain something, try to include as many examples as possible, because whenever you're including examples, it will show that you know your theory really well and you have understood the concept, right? So the first 2 units that we looked at were primarily theoretical based, right? So whenever we were looking at those concepts, we were always looking at them through examples, right? So have a look at those concepts and think about the examples that you can cite from real life. And you can of course make up examples because you can let your imagination go wild, right? So use examples as much as possible to show and that you are aware of the concepts and that you have understood it clearly. And the same goes for letter writing, same goes for formal writing, dialogue writing, interviews. Use your imagination as freely as possible, right? You have all been blessed with beautiful brains and minds, right? So use it well, use it wisely. Try to let your imagination go free and wild. So make up new scenarios, try to be as creative as possible, read as much as you can, read and have a look at your school grammar books as well. That will give you an idea about what you have studied, right? And it will help refresh your memory as well. Try to read try to have look at the formal letters that are probably part of your textbooks. Have a look at different reports, right, to give you an idea about what kind of sentences are, what kind of sentences can you use in your exams, right? Sentence structure, the sentences, the words, the choice of words, right? So the right choice of words, the right sentences can make all the impact that you are probably planning to make in your examination, right? I don't know that link chal raha hai, nahi chal raha hai. I've just shared the links that your classmates have given me. So there's another link that has been shared. So yeah. Kimthi, if it does not mention, then choose any that you prefer, obviously, and maybe make it write it down that you have used this particular format, to show that yes, you are aware that this is the format that I have used. If it does not mention, then choose the format that you are comfortable with and make a note, probably like in the brackets at the end of the answer, that you have used this particular format. I'm not part of any groups or anything, and I've provided the relevant material, so I don't think so there will be any particular need. If so, if you have any questions regarding the question, like the examination or dates, I am not the right person to ask, because that information will come from SOL directly to you. So they will contact you regarding all of that. For the other things, I have given you, I think, enough material and everything has been provided, so I'm sure you won't have any issues there. Yeah. So I hope you have all saved the links to the Telegram group and the WhatsApp group, and you have also looked at the material that has been provided to you. So please join the Teams group. Now, that is what has been requested of you since day one, to join the Teams group. SOL has kindly made the groups on our Microsoft Teams page, right? So please open the groups page and join the BCom group. That will be really nice. Yeah, that would be good, and that you will get all the necessary information possible that there is, right? Okay, so yeah, so we only have 1 minute left. How can we join? You can join in the BCom group. Anyone can let you in. It's all right. You can just send a request, whoever is there. I think you can just join it without any sending a request. You can easily join the BCom group. There is no issue. If not, please talk to your classmates. You can talk on the Microsoft Teams app easily. Yes, that's the group's name. There are different groups, BCom honors. I think you have different groups for your subjects also, for economics or something like that. So you can join either of the groups and then ask around which group you want to be a part of. That's entirely up to you. Yeah. So any other questions related to AECC? Okay, just a second, Chandni. I'll just do that. Here there is another kind person who has shared the link, so you can have a look at that. Wait, just a second. I'll just show you. So this is your SOL material, and you have 5 units, and these are your units: theory of communication, language of communication, speaking skills, reading and understanding, and writing skills. 5 units. Okay, so I hope this is clear. All right. Okay. These are your 5 units. Thank you, Pratima. Thank you. Please, guys, please have a look at the grammar books. Please go back to your school books, right? Have a look at the SOL material carefully. Study well from your textbook. And I hope you do really, really well in not just my paper, but in other papers as well. And I know the things are difficult because everything is on online mode. But I hope you do really well. And I hope, yeah, you do really well and you study well, obviously. So I hope you enjoyed the lectures, AECC lectures, as much I enjoyed delivering them to you. So please study well, do well, and most importantly, stay safe. Don't stress on online hoga, offline hoga. All of the information will reach to you, in due time. So don't worry, just get to your books and start studying. The material has been shared. Yes, you can have a look at that. All right. So thank you, Chandni. Okay. So I'll take your leave now, and be safe, all of you, and have a look at the material that has been.
Okay, ma'am. Done.
ठीक है सर, मैं लीव कर रही हूँ.